What's going on, everybody? So today's question that was DM'd to me on Instagram at GMyesWorld is, I'm pregnant, but I'm not married. Should I keep the baby? Now, this is something that, depending on what you believe, it's a very, very difficult situation. Obviously, a lot of people have children out of wedlock. In the olden days, it wasn't something that could happen. In the olden days, you also couldn't divorce people. And, you know, in America, it's one of the highest divorce rates. Like 50% of people are almost guaranteed to be divorced. So that doesn't mean you have to follow that trend. To answer this young lady's question, it's about what you want to do. You know, what happens is this: whether your parents are going to be upset because of the background and what they believe, it's your life, it's your choice, it's your body. I don't know if, you know, the man that's involved with it wants to keep it. I don't even know if he's still around, because you didn't really get into depth with that. You just want to know if you should keep the baby because you're not married. Obviously, it's different stances regarding religion in this situation, and, you know, having a baby out of wedlock and things like that. But a lot of people are going to be on the fence about this. I'm going to tell you honestly the way I feel about it. You know, that's why I've always believed that the woman is very important with this decision. It's her body, it's what it is. Obviously, if the man and the woman agree that they're going to go through it together, that's a different story. In most cases, some women are not fair with the way that they go about this, and they use it in the wrong manner. I hope that this is not something that you're considering doing, because it isn't fair. If the man wants to keep the baby and he has valid reasoning, I'm not saying that he wants to keep the baby and he ain't doing nothing and he can't help you with it, and he's not that person that you believe is ready to have a child and be a father. I understand that, because some people are not ready for that stage. But I'm just saying, in the overall aspect, sometimes women use it in a rather controlling manner, to like, you better do this, you better do that type of thing. I'm just saying that it's more healthy for the baby if you're going to have it, if none of that nonsense is surrounding it. So getting to your actual question, I'm gonna tell you straight out right now: if you want to keep this baby, keep this baby. But you have to also evaluate what comes with that. What are you going to lose in that situation? You know, a lot of people are concerned more with other things rather than themselves. And if it's your family, I'm pretty sure you could sit down and talk with the family and figure out what's going to go on. Are you eventually going to marry this guy? Is this just a guy that, you know what I'm saying, you just happen to forget to use a condom with? It's a lot of things that you didn't really explain. So I don't really know how the situation is outside of the fact that you just got pregnant. Every day a female gets pregnant, and every day, you know, somebody considers an abortion. Every day somebody has an abortion. It is what it is. This is the times that we live in right now. And as I said before, I'm fully in support of a woman controlling their own destiny, because I can't have a baby. So who am I to tell you that you shouldn't have it, or you're gonna have it? I don't believe in all that. I can't. I'm very, very objective when it comes to that, and I just try to be fair to the point to make people understand that. If I'm in that situation, and, you know, I'm that guy, and then I listen to this, you know, this podcast, and I'm like, oh, he's probably talking about me because, you know, so and so, whatever like that, and I want to keep the baby, I'm gonna do my part to make that woman feel comfortable with keeping the baby, with making her see, look, I am gonna be there. It's very, very difficult for a woman to not know if somebody's gonna be there. And kudos to that woman that do it regardless, because it's a tough job to raise a kid on your own. Believe me when I tell you that. It's a very, very tough job. You know what I'm saying? So people can't immediately go to judge, oh, you're not married, this and that. Listen, let me just explain something. LeBron James was born, you know, to one Gloria James. There was nothing going on with the dad, you know what I'm saying? She did it on her own. I'm not saying that, you know, your kid's gonna be LeBron James. I'm just saying that if you feel that you want to have the baby for whatever reason, and you feel that you can provide the right type of environment for the baby, because I don't want to say, yeah, go have the baby, and you're gonna just have the baby just to use it against that man. Because if you're using that type of vindictive behavior, nothing good's gonna come out of it. Let me just let you know that right now. Any woman that watch this and you use your child as leverage, that's not any benefit to the baby. You know what I'm saying? If you're just gonna go through this whole time and go through all these things that you have to go through with the pregnancy just with this venomous feeling in your body. That's all going to your child. I learned that also. If you don't keep a woman happy during the pregnancy, it shows with the baby. Everything that you do to her is gonna come through with that baby. So, regardless of what he is doing to you, you have to decide whether you're going to be able to be that loving parent and that guidance that they need. And regardless if he's gonna be there or not, those are the things that I would suggest that you think about. Because right now you're probably at that stage, you probably just, I'm just thinking about it in my mind. You took a pregnancy test, you're like, oh, F, there's a dot, I'm F'd. That's probably what's going on. You see the line, it's like, what the mother F. That's probably your reaction right now. And you're probably, it's like, so, because like I said, a woman's mind is crazy. And I've been studying women's minds forever. And the one thing that I know that's in common with every woman on the earth, their brain never stops going. And I don't think enough men understand that. And that's why I get along with a lot more women than I do men. Because I understand how they think. Their brains never stop. Sometimes they gotta be doing, they gotta take melatonin to go to bed. Because their brain is just thinking about so many different scenarios and stuff like that. And sometimes it's very, very annoying to men. Let's just be honest about it. You're like, yo, what the F? But you can't do that to a woman that's going through this stage right here. Because right now, emotions is on, it's a cycle right now, bro. It's like that gerbil on the wheel. It's going crazy. And she's just, a lot of things are going to be going on within her and she wants to know. And anything that you do at this point, this is held more in a higher regard. So we already know that a woman scorn is the worst thing. She's not leaving it at this point if you do anything crazy. But again, even with that being done, I'm suggesting, and like I said, I'm only suggesting that you don't go through with the pregnancy if everything is just venomous to get at that man. Because that's your body, that's your aura, that's everything that's going into your baby. And I really believe that because you can see the outcome. Just any woman that, if I'm lying, I'm dying right here, bro. Like I done seen it happen. I'm gonna get this mother effer. He going to court as soon as the baby drops. As soon as the baby come out, we go into court. You can't have that. You know what I'm saying? That can't go on. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna tell you, I understand that it may seem like, this guy doesn't understand about the religion aspect. I'm fully aware of the religious aspect, but I'm just saying that as far as the control of your life and this life that you have, I'm pretty sure you can get forgiveness regardless of what religion you are, and eventually go on to, maybe that man will become a husband, your husband and stuff like that. And you just really wanted to have this baby. But like I said, you have to have the proper tools to make that happen. You can't just go and do it just because you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do it for this Listen, have a plan. Make sure you know where this baby's food's coming from. Are you going to breastfeed? Are you going to be giving them the formula? You know what I'm saying? All these things. You got to have this where you're going to be living. You need space now. You know what I'm saying? A baby is not easy. I can tell you from experience, it's not easy. And you don't know what else surrounds it. And like I said, if you wanted to give me more detail about your family saying they're going to put you out, stuff like that, that's even more concerning, because now we got to figure out where you're going to go, how you're going to be able to work right now for this next period of time. What are you going to do when you have the baby? You know what I'm saying? Where's the money coming from if the guy's not involved? So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, guys and girls, when you're asking these questions and you're DMing me on Instagram at GMyersWorld, make sure you give me a little bit more information behind it, because just saying, should you keep the baby? I'm telling you, a woman is in control of that. Men can't have a baby, at least as far as I know. Maybe some scientist somewhere is doing it. But as far as I know, a woman doesn't have that blessing to be able to do that. I mean, a man doesn't have that blessing to be able to give birth. So in that aspect, I'm stating straight, like realistically, that it's your choice. But I'm just recommending that you don't do it for the wrong reasons, to be venomous, and you have the right reasons, which is to give love to that child unconditionally and make sure that you can provide an environment for that child to grow. Because it's nothing worse than to see what your child becomes and it's pretty much all your fault. Don't be that person. Don't be that mom that just wants to run the man into the ground. Do it for the right reasons. Everything, your thoughts, all the anxiety, that goes into your child. So try to make it the most positive experience you can if you're willing to go through with it. But ultimately, it is your choice. And that's the way I answer that question. I'm gonna see you guys and girls next time. Subscribe, share the video. One love.